body was good. Yo, I feel great. I feel blessed. I'm just I'm just excited, man, for this week, for today, for the next day. I feel great, man. Now hopefully, I just feel like, not just feel like, I just hope that y'all doing the same. You know what I'm saying? And just seeking peace, man. I'm telling you, stop worrying about the next day. Just worry about the now. The next day, just know that the next day in the morning there's gonna be joy. All right, just know about that. All right, every single morning there's joy. Stop worrying about the next day, how it's gonna be. Just know that everything is gonna go how you imagine, right? How you know what I'm saying? It might not go exactly how you want it to, but trust me and trust yourself that it's gonna play out at the end of the day, at the end of the month or year. Just trust the process, right? As always, back at it. I believe this is the 4th video live. I guess I'm just testing the waters, seeing how everything is, and yeah, right. As always, let's get started. If y'all didn't check the last video for this Sunday, exactly what we said it was gonna happen, it played out. It wasn't the best week for us, but it was great in terms of lectures and, you know, confident in our model, right? Because I know that within myself that there's still things that I need to fix in order to go ahead and take that next step, right? With the glory of God and trusting in the process, everything's gonna play out, everything's gonna go how it's supposed to be, right? So I'm just being patient, and I'm working on not being too how you guys can say emotional, right? So as always, let's get into it. Let's get started. All right. So y'all know we got ES on our right and Q on our ES on our left and Q on our right. All right. So I still got, you know, the weekly inverted FUG still marked up because there's still areas that need to be filled that are not balanced, right? So those stills, I'm gonna go over basically what are my point of interest for the upcoming week. All right. So first thing first, starting from the weekly time frame, and I ain't gonna lie, your boy just came out of the gym. My legs is fried. All right. But no excuse, we're gonna get right into it. So plus, yeah, it's a late live session for me. So let's get into it. All right. So weekly, as you guys can see that for ES, we still have some room, right? I'm gonna go ahead and mark it up for you guys. We still got some room in terms of price having to, you know, come up into this weekly range, right, to go ahead and jab into it, right? For NQ, we have something the same, right? Instead of a volume imbalance, right, which is from this candle, bearish candle here, closed, to this bearish candle here open, we have a volume imbalance. And then from the low of this bearish candle and the high of this bullish candle, we do have a CIVI, sell side inefficiency, buy side imbalance. But for NQ, we only have a volume imbalance, which still is an area we could go ahead and target to see if we're gonna get some sort of reaction to either continue going higher or lower, right? But if I know I already told myself, if we are gonna see higher, just based off this range right here, as we go down lower, you guys gonna see I need to see some aggressive momentum, right? Because already in this area here for NQ, we already have areas that already are balanced out, and area that are not balanced out, you know, are small to none gaps, right? So in order for, you know, price to even, you know, think about, you know, rejecting of that, you know, I need to see some aggressive movement just from those areas, right? Whether it's to continue going higher or lower. Same thing here, right? For ES, we have somewhat the same, right? But again, just bigger gaps. So as we go down, as we dive in lower, we're gonna go ahead and see what needs to be balanced and what does not need to be what needs to be balanced and not balanced. You know what I'm saying? All right, so let's go into the daily. All right. Oh, excusez-moi. All right. So into the daily time frame, I did discuss how, again, I wanted to see, a retracement, right, on this bearish candle, and that's exactly what we are having. And you guys could see from the daily time frame, our first point of interest that I did mention that it was this one, and then this was going to be our second one, right? And you guys could see that we have filled it, right? And then it became an inverted FUG, and then on the following day, which was a Thursday of April 10th, we came back, not just once, but on the following day as well, right? So from Wednesday, right, on Thursday we had a bearish day, right? We finished low, and on Friday we did have a rally going up higher, right? You guys can see for today we are where we opened up, right? So for ES we have the same, right? Where we did create as well as a inverted FUG after the close of this candle, came back not just once but twice and finish higher, right? But just know that we did jab into this second point of interest that we had annotate for ourselves. Same thing here. So just based off looking up here, I already know that if price is going to continue going high lower, I do have a hourly SIBI on the upper quadrant that needs to be balanced out. So if she is gonna go ahead and continue going lower, taking our buy side and then moving into there, that'll be awesome, especially if we do gap into premium. Then we could go ahead and see based off that range on that rally, right, that we have, right, to see a retracement going down lower to balance out that current range, right, that we just created, right, or that we are basically trading on. Same thing for ES, right, where we are now currently, we have much more of a space to balance out price than NQ. You guys can see the difference. So again, I do understand that we are inside this daily SIBI / volume imbalance, but yeah, I don't know if you guys can hear the background noise, but we do have we basically are inside, right? We inside this daily, right? So if we are below, then we could seek to see if she wants to go ahead and continue to go lower, but again, we are inside, so we could go ahead and see if she wants to continue going higher, taking out these buy side and jabbing into an area that needs to be balanced, that we will go ahead and see. For some reason my internet says that's error, but it's showing that it's showing green. I don't know. All right, going into the hourly, right? Let's go ahead and dive into the hourly. All right, ignore this. It's just like my new day of that I like to align and that I like to delineate. All right. All right, so first thing first, I just go ahead and just talk about it. We do have a new week opening gap that I am going to be marking up later, but it's basically from Friday's close to today's open, right? So if there's no news tomorrow, and yeah, if there's no like high impact news tomorrow, then I'll be looking to see if price is willing to, if she does gap into premium, to go ahead and jab into this area in here. Now, before I even cast backwards, right, there's a few things that I want to mark up, right? One thing is, right, this right here. You guys can see that, right? But I'm gonna go ahead and turn this a different color so there won't be any confusion. All right, let's do the same thing for, let's do the same thing for ES. All right. Okay, it won't be perfect, but it's gonna do All right, so we do see that price on ES, she didn't fully, rally up on higher and close above this 1 hour CB. So this is still a CB, right? For ES, we could see that she did, right? She did jab, she traded to and through and closed above, right? So we looked at, as a environment balance, and you can see that she did, what's it called, came back into it. So I'm still looking at this area, right, to see if she could build some momentum from here to then go up any higher into this weekly, which we're gonna go ahead and cast backwards in a minute or so. All right, and again, just know we have the same thing here. Now I do see that this range right here that we're currently on is a low resistance, right? Why do I say it's a low resistance, right? Even though there's a lot of bearish, there's a bearish candles here, we have some bullish, bearish, bullish, bearish. Just know, just by looking at the wicks, right? So the wicks here, the wicks here, you can see that price is going back and forth. So I already know if prices is gonna go up higher, I need to see aggression, right? I need to see a aggressive displacement to basically tell me that price is willing to go higher, right? So the more highs it takes out, the better, rather than just taking out one high and coming back and forth, right? But currently I am looking to see if she's willing to take out these highs, right? And again, we're gonna go cast backwards and see that we do have some imbalance that, after taking out these highs, we could jab into it and possibly again just go back into the new week opening gap to even, right, going down lower. Just know that going down lower, we do have some barriers that needs to be broken, right, on this current range that we are trading, right? Because after that, we have some nice area in here. Now same thing for ES, going up higher, she needs to show some aggressive displacement, so you can see, so she can at least jab into this weekly and some imbalances that we're going to be showing in a minute. If she does go any lower after that, she's going to have to, again, show some aggressive displacement to, to move on any higher, to even, fill in anything in here. Now we do have a hour in here inversion, right, in which if she does trades into, then we could go ahead and dive in to see if there's anything on this wick that she's willing to go back and jab into, or even take the low out of it. Take the low to even balance out these buy side, right? And then possibly even continue going down lower and taking out these relative equal lows and these as well, and so on and so forth. All right, now casting backwards, as I was saying, we do have this area in here that, right, we're gonna go ahead and aligned. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this one out so it won't be too much showing. All right, we're gonna show the same thing, all right, for ES. All right, as you guys can see, I'm doing it from this high of this candle all the way to the low of this this bullish candle, right? So you guys can see that we have some imbalance, right? Some area here that needs to, an efficiency here that needs to be balanced out, which is also inside this weekly inverted FUG. So this is why I'm saying that if we are going to go any higher, I do favor that, right? Because we do have some inefficiency in here, rather, right, than proceeding right now going lower. Why do I say that? I want to see price at least, build some nice low resistance going up higher, so that when we get that nice retracement going lower, we can have that momentum to at least, right, push down lower, right, rather than just jabbing here and then coming back into this current inside range, right here, to then keep going back and forth. Because here, it's going to be a lot of back and forth, right? It's a lot of this is right here, this is why high resistance, I'm not a big fan of this, right? So I prefer seeing price build something like this, so then when she comes back into that, I prefer taking a risk of move that could play out like this, right, into a low resistant dealing range like this, right? So I do want to see price at least dig up into here, right? And again, just jab into this 1 hour, right? As we go down lower, we're gonna see, you know, 5 minute that we do have, right? This current bearish candle do splits, so it has like multiple SIBI, right, that we could go ahead and seek into. Same thing for ES, but I mean for NQ, but it's a little bit of a plot twist. What do I mean, right? I'm gonna go ahead and mark up the same thing here, right? Because we did jab into here, right? You guys can see the difference, right, into NQ and ES. That NQ, like the only thing that is the same right now currently is that NQ, right, is inside this what? This daily right here, right? Same thing, this daily, right? NQ and ES got the same thing, right? NQ, inside this daily. Although, looking at this 1 hour, right? And looking at this 1 hour as well, NQ jabbed already into it. And then same thing as well for ES. So, what I do see is that, you know, it'll be a great combination of seeing price taking out these buy side, even gapping in premium, right? Let's say if she gaps into premium, taking out these buy side, digging into a 5 minute in here, and then going down lower, you know, we could see something like that. Again, I'm just going ahead and having several scenarios that I'm mentally prepared going into Monday, right? Having both, right? Is because it's really important. You don't want to, you know, be shuffling at the last minute. It's good to have 2 scenarios in place and understand both of them, right? Just in case you end up taking the one that has high resistance, so you know when to get out and not, you know, again, because you could get greedy at the end of the day. So that's something that I want to avoid, and I want to just concentrate on taking low resistant trades and just leaving the high resistant, you know, trade just let pass, even though if we have a big day, right, at the end of the day, right, it is what it is. Again, same thing, we have some buy side, you know, I want to see if she could go ahead and dig into here and see if we could take our buy side here and then dig into this our SIBI. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and drag this current below. Oops, I'll do the same thing for these, and same thing for these. All right, so let's go ahead into the 15 just real quick. Why not, right? I'm gonna go ahead and cast backwards into here. Same thing. Let's go the same thing for our NQ. All right, so basically what we was talking about in the upper quadrant, we have these SIBI here. We have the SIBI here, even though, right, we did already trade it into this one, right? We already traded to and through. I'll go ahead and just put a line so you guys can see what I'm talking about. All right, won't be perfect, but it is what it is. You guys can see we traded literally to it, right? You guys can see, and we didn't trade all the way through it in terms of trading to it and above it and closing above it, but we did trade to it, and then we just have a little bit of a gap, which I know if price gets it, she's just gonna go through it, right? It's just that's too small right here of a look at this. This is what I'm saying, right? Look at the body of these candles here, right? Not the wicks, because the wicks just makes noise. The body of the candle tells the story, right? So basically, not really much to have price go in there and filled up, right? So I already know if she gets into that area, she's just gonna trade right through it, right? And now we have this area in here, right? That I'll be okay seeing price, you know, trading even above this daily, right? And even, you know, getting up a little bit up into there, right? That'll be fine. Same thing for ES. I'll go ahead and mark up this line so you guys can see. I'll take this one off. All right, for ES, you guys can see we traded to and through, and basically we close above it. See that? So I already know next time she gets up in there, right? I already know that the next area she could go ahead and target are what? These inefficiency up in here. Again, I'll be okay seeing her jab into there, right? Jab into this 15 minute. Now let's go ahead and dive into the 5 minute. All right. All right. Look at this 5 minute right here. Look at that. This is why I'll be okay seeing her, you know, trade, you know, to and through our daily, right? Yeah, as long as she's, you know, stay within our weekly inverted range, right? Look at that right here. So I'll be okay seeing her, you know, trade any higher, right? So I know if I'm trading, right? Because I trade in the hourly. I know if she, let's say for instance, trading above here, we got into premium, right? We go back, right? I know that now, instead of me saying, okay, I want to see price from premium fall down and go down lower, I would tell myself, I'm going to demand more, right? Because now at that point in time, seeing price being traded, trading above, again, a block box here, which is our 1 hour, seeing trading it above, right? I'm going to go ahead and say, I could see her going higher and filling in and digging into here. I see that. So I'll go ahead and I tell myself, yo, I'm going to go ahead and seek some buys. I'm going to favor those buys, right? But again, everything needs to be aligned. I need to see at least something else, maybe let's say another hourly form, like a busy form, right? That we could jab into it, right? After she gaps into premium, right? Let's say she gaps into premium to then, you know, retrace into the 930 opening range gap, let's say into a high time frame PDRA to then even seek going higher. I'll be okay with that. I understand where I stand in the weekly, right? Well, will she, you know, continue going higher? Maybe, but to be honest, I'll be just targeting right here. Same thing, right? Why? I'll tell you why right now. This will be an area in here, right? So let's say if she trading above here, I'll just take it right here. This is a nice calm move, right? You don't need everything, right? So this will be an area here, a key area, because of this aggressive candle. So I already know next time price come into there, we're gonna have some rejection, right? We're gonna have a rejection just based off how we created from this 5 minute SIBI, 5 minute inverted FEG turn after this candle here, right, on Wednesday. I already know when price come into there, we're gonna have some sort of rejection. So if she's trading above here, above our hourly, and right, our hourly, which is our black box, and then our daily, which is our red box, I already know that, you know, we inside the weekly inverted FEG, but I already know that we are trading above it. I'm gonna go ahead and target it. These 5 minute, right? So premium, let's say she gapped into premium, right? And we go down into the 930 opening range gap, right? Inside here, I'll go ahead and tell myself, let's see if I could get some nice, if I could get a setup, you know, to jab into these areas in here, right? If she wants to go ahead and trade to and through these areas, I already know that these are the next one. After that, I just leave price alone because, again, like I mentioned, I need to see her. Okay, let me show you right now. I need to see her being aggressive just in this range, right? Weekly range, and then look how we have in the daily, right? We have some areas in here, but again, I need to see her be aggressive. We have some areas in here, all right? So again, just taking it step by step, right? And then overall, we do have, you know, some weekly in here, SIBI, and then in here too. But again, like I said, everything needs to be by demand when we get to these points of area. Currently right now, like I said, I do favor seeing price, you know, moving a little bit up higher, right? If she is gonna go any lower, I'm demanding more from price. What do I see? I want to see aggressive movement going down lower and not get greedy, because I already know if we build some nice range going down lower, right, and then price just trade to it and through it, below it. Once we get into these area, right? If we don't see price, if we see price just jabbing into these, short-term lows and then coming back up, you already know that you're gonna have a lot of back and forth, right? So you can't get greedy coming through here unless we see some, crazy displacement to then coming back up, right? But that's pretty much it for me today. I just, like I said, I would like to have 2 scenarios in place so that, I don't fumble in terms of trying to figure things out. And then I'm like, lose focus of what I'm looking at. I prefer just having 2 setups, right? To like either price going bullish or bearish, right? So that I already know when 9:30 opens, I have an idea of what I am seeking moving into 10 to 11, which is my trading hours. And again, I do trade the silver bullet, which is my mentor. It's a ICT silver bullet. After that, from 10 to 11, whatever happened to 11, I don't care. I don't care if she ends up going to my area of interest at the 11, and so be it. I just go about my day. All right, so hopefully you guys find this insightful. As always, I'm gonna go eat because I literally just came out of the gym and I just came and did this Sunday live, and I feel weak. I need to get something in my stomach. It was leg day. My legs is fried. But as always, I appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all present. I love y'all. Hopefully you have a wonderful, wonderful end to your Sunday. Going till Monday, just know it's gonna be joy when you wake up. As always, 5 P's. Proper preparation, prevent poor performance. And like my mama always said, be the first one in the room and the last one to leave. Apply that to anything y'all do. Don't rush the process. Stay in your own lane. Don't worry about who's the neighbor doing, because that's just gonna take some time away from getting to your destination. Trust the process. Trust God, and just know that He's with your present. He's with you in your present all the time. Don't look too hard because you don't need to. He's there. Alright, I love y'all. I respect y'all.